Hello, everybody. This is Aston Osai, Superintendent of St. Louis Park Public Schools, and you're listening to the Share the Mic podcast, the show that explores what connects our school community, who we are as individuals, and who we are as a collective. Through conversations with students, staff, and community members, we'll talk about what brings us joy, our hopes and dreams, and our connection to our strategic plan for racial equity transformation. Katie, welcome to the Share the Mic podcast. I'm so thankful that you were willing to take time out of your busy schedule to be with us. And I'm excited to hear more from you today as a member of the class of 2023. We're taking some time here really engaging members of the class of 2023 and learning more about their experience. And you were one of the people that I felt would be a great contribution to the conversation. So
well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you be willing to just share for the audience, who you are and your connection here to St. Louis Park Public Schools, not only as a student, but all of the things that you're doing here?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Katie Nelson. I'm a senior, as mentioned. I have gone to St. Louis Park since I was in elementary school, and I went to preschool here as well over at Lennox Community Center.
Wow.
So I went to Peter Hobart Elementary School. Shout out. Had a really great time there. And then I've been involved in a lot of things. I've done cross country and track since I was a 7th grader at the high school.
Wow.
So yeah, and then I've done Nordic skiing, and I've also been a part of ECHO, which is our student newspaper here.
That's excellent. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned that about your involvement on ECHO, because generally in this type of situation, you're the one asking me the questions.
Yes.
All of our interactions have generally been you and asking me for a time to meet, us sitting down and talking about different topics impacting our school community. So actually, it feels kind of good to be on the other side.
I know. I didn't have to bring questions. I didn't have to bring anything here.
Yeah, no, it feels great being on the other side of the conversation. But speaking about the ECHO, just as a former high school journalist, and then as a journalism major at the University of Minnesota, I know how important journalism is just to society and to, having a fair democracy. And what I would love to hear from you about is just what your experience has been like being on the ECHO and as the editor of the ECHO, and just knowing how important the ECHO is to our school community.
I think one thing about me and ECHO that I, if I reflect back, is in the first place, I really was very hesitant to join. I was very scared. I was I don't know if I can do this. It seems like so much work and stress, and actually an upperclassman just encouraged me to try it. And I think honestly ECHO has been one of those things that has helped me in my growth so much, just being able to get outside of my comfort zone and talk to new people. And especially like you said, journalism, it really is about getting different people's perspectives. It's about creating a community and getting stories. So there's so many people that I've talked to for ECHO where I might never have gotten to talk to them. Through ECHO, I've gotten to talk to you so much. I don't know when else I would have done that. And so I think it's cool that through ECHO, I've been able to push myself outside my comfort zone, but also get to share people's stories that might not have been heard. So,
that's beautiful. And so what you said about that upperclassman, I think I heard you say you were initially nervous about it, and
Very
that there
nervous.
was an upperclassman that encouraged you to try it. And it sounds like it's been one of the best decisions you've made in your high school.
I wrote a college essay about that. It happened. I was in actually a Spanish Zoom breakout room, and I was telling him, I actually emailed my counselor, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Can you tell me the other options? And he had asked me, he was like, he was on ECHO. He was like, are you doing ECHO? And I was like, no, I actually just emailed my counselor, and he was like, I think you should do it, just try it. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll try it, and here we are. So
I love
it worked out.
Katie, I absolutely love that story. So, of course, St. Louis Park Public Schools is an IB school, right? And as a part of the IB Learner Profile, there's this IB Learner Profile attribute around being a risk taker. So there was an upperclassman who encouraged you to do it. You took a risk, tried it. It was something that was super powerful for you as a student here. So as now an upperclassman, someone who has just a couple of weeks left of high school experience, what advice or wisdom would you give to current underclassmen here at the high school, current middle school students, current elementary students around things that they should be thinking about regarding their experience here in St. Louis Park Public Schools?
Oh, that's such a good question. I have so many pieces. I think going back to like the risk taker question or part of what you were saying, just be willing to try new things. One thing that I tried is like during COVID, I joined the Nordic ski team. I wasn't very good at skiing, but it was still fun. I made a community. I met so many people there. So I think just don't be afraid to like reach out to new people, try new things. You never know like what you're going to be good at. You never know what communities you might join that you might end up loving. So yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you for those words of wisdom. And I'm hoping that students and community members that are listening lean into that, because it's not just about that advice that you're giving is not just for students. That's even as I'm thinking about listening to what you're sharing as a person in a big age of life, I still believe that there's some things that I can try and step out and take risk on. So, I know that you've had so much involvement here in different activities in St. Louis Park Public Schools. What are you planning to do after high school? Is there anything that you've experienced here that is going to follow you into your post-secondary experience?
Yeah, so I am attending Iowa State University.
Okay.
So I'm planning on double majoring hopefully in communications and then in human development.
Love it.
Yeah, and then I guess one thing I would say I've taken away is I've done a lot of PSEO through the high school, or I guess through Normandale, but with the high school. And so I'm just transferring a lot of credits in there, which has been really great and hopefully will save me time and money. So
that's excellent.
Anyone who's considering PSEO, I would highly recommend.
Yeah, no, that's great. But, and I'm thankful that here in St. Louis Park Public Schools, that's an opportunity that students have access to, because as you're describing, if you're able to transfer many or all of those credits, that hopefully will save you a lot of time and money down the road. Well, that's exciting. I wish you the best in Ames, Iowa, right?
It is in Ames, Iowa,
I've never been to Ames, Iowa. As a former University of Minnesota Golden Gopher, we don't, a lot of things about Iowa just leave a bad taste in our mouth. So I don't know about Ames. I'm imagining there's a lot of cornfields.
There's probably a lot of corn.
A lot of cornfields and windmills, but I'm sure.
I'm sure I'll grow to like it.
There you go. And you're going to get an amazing education.
Hopefully,
and positively contribute to the community there. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. As we come to the end of our conversation, one of the things that we like to do anytime I have a chance to engage a student, I always like to take a moment to see if there's any adults that here during their experience in St. Louis Park Public Schools have had a positive impact on them, and then just give them a chance to share that impact and the name of that adult if they would like.
Yeah, so I think first person that comes to mind is our ECHO advisor, Andrew Wilkes. He took over this year, and he's just been really great helping me out this year, especially I'm PSEO, so I only come in here for ECHO, so he's kind of like my main adult in the building, but yeah, he kind of took on a challenging role this year, and he's been really great, and I'm really thankful for him. So
beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, and I'm sure Mr. Wilkes is tuning in and smiling very
I hope so.
Broadly, just by the very kind words that you had for him and his leadership of ECHO, and just his engagement and kindness and care for students that he interacts with. Well, thank you so much, Katie, for being with us and for all of your leadership here in St. Louis Park Public Schools. I'm confident that even though you'll be leaving us and leaving the ECHO, that you have positioned us well for continued strong journalism here in St. Louis Park Public Schools. Is there anything that you would like to share with the audience before we end our time together?
Is this my mic drop moment?
This is your mic drop moment.
Yeah, I think just kind of what I said earlier, take risks, enjoy your time here. It goes by really fast. That's something that, it's very cliche and everyone told me that, but it's true. It goes by fast. So take risks, have new experiences, have fun.
I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And talk to you soon.